And the debate continues, and this is over the efficacy of hydroxychloroquine as a cure for COVID-19. The World Health Organization initially recommended the drug, but later withdrew the recommendation following some scientific studies pointing out some fatal side effects. Dr. Sam Adekola is the National Chairman, Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria. He joins us here in Lagos. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right, so what do you make of the controversy surrounding the use of hydroxychloroquine as a treatment for COVID-19?
Yeah, thank you. Hydroxychloroquine, for we know it's no drug, which has been with us. That's, of course, it's a derivative of chloroquine, which is an anti-malaria, which has been a mainstream treatment of malaria before now with us in Africa. Of course, over time, there was a failure with chloroquine, which brought in the idea of ACT, combined therapy, and chloroquine was prescribed, and which eventually it was stayed there. There are still persons who feel that, without chloroquine, they can't do well. And over time, the derivative hydroxychloroquine also become very useful in lupus, in rheumatoid arthritis, and all that. And however, when all of these things started, there were discussion around it, of course, in trials. And there are local trials, there are trials in different places, to the effect that hydroxychloroquine has been shown to have some benefit, particularly either has prophylactic uses or in an intervention which has to do with, maybe somebody who is not showing a symptomatic patient, or somebody who is slightly showing symptoms. So there has not been serious debunk of this, sincerely yours, because persons have also, institutions, there has been testimonies in different quarters to say that, yes, if these drugs is used at the beginning of this infection, it stands a great chance. So, and I think that is where outrightly the WHO has not debunked that, and which is the reason up to today there are researches that are still going on hydroxychloroquine at the even local level. I know here in Lagos, at Lagos Teaching Hospital, there's a research going on currently. In the world over, there are researches going on hydroxychloroquine. So it's a drug that has become maybe a little bit contentious, but sincerely, there are also claims and testimonies to show that it has shown some level of support, some level of, victory in this fight.
So, in your thoughts, we are fighting COVID-19. There's also been the challenge of misinformation. And some people have put the use of hydroxychloroquine as a drug that doesn't work for COVID-19 patients. Now you're saying that perhaps it works for those if they're giving early. Yeah. But then isn't this sort of freedom causing confusion in the fight?
Yes, that's the truth. But the point is that don't also forget that one major challenge we have actually had in this COVID pandemic fight is the fact that there has not been too much of serious working together. There has not been. We have not hacked together, even internationally, locally, even nationally in Nigeria here. So this is an issue. So if there's a claim and you feel that, yes, I have a claim about this, there's nothing stopped all of us from come together and come to a point. You understand? That's why we will be able to inform people objectively and correctly. But when you leave people to, individual efforts, people acting in silos to say, this is my effort, this is what I've done. So it's create for a situation that we find ourselves on our table. So, and that's the serious issue. The great challenge is that we have not acted together world over. You see WHO fighting, US fighting, these others, persons fighting, which is the same thing when you come back home here. Yes, there are efforts, but I tell you, as I speak today, we are far, far away from acting together on how to combat the pandemic. And that's the reason why, don't also forget the fact that there are quite a number, and that's another issue entirely on his own, that there are persons, even with or without drugs, will overcome the infection if they have their system fortified. I mean, depending on the immunity level. So if the same set of person now use hydroxychloroquine, perhaps this is not working. If the same person use hydroxychloroquine and they come out of it, the only drug they will be talking about is hydroxychloroquine. And that's an issue.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all.
So,
we'd like to thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Sam Adekola. Thank you for joining us on the program.
it's a pleasure.